The moment I opened my door and saw two idiots in bargain bin police costumes trying to arrest me for having the wrong shade of mailbox, I knew someone was about to have a very bad day. And spoiler alert, it sure wasn't going to be me. You ever see a grown man flash a plastic badge so cheap it probably came with a free Happy Meal? That's what I was dealing with. The tall one puffed up and said, "You're under arrest for community violations," while his sidekick's fake leather belt squeaked every time he moved like a mouse with asthma. And here's what Karen from the HOA didn't know: I'm the actual chief of police. Have been for 8 years. That real badge in my bedroom closet. Oh, they were about to meet it up close and personal. But let me back up a sec. How the heck did I get here? What would you do if fake cops showed up at your door over HOA nonsense? And hey, tell me where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments because I want to see just how far this kind of insanity spreads. My name's Marcus Steele. About 6 months ago, my life got flipped upside down. My wife, Sarah, was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, which meant picking up our whole lives and moving to Willowbrook Estates, a place that looked great in the brochures but turned out to be ruled by a tyrant in pearls. Sarah's doing better now, thank God, but that move was rough. The kids, Emma and Jake, had to leave everything behind, start over at a new school, make new friends. I transferred police departments, became chief in a town where I knew absolutely nobody. We bought a plain 2-story on Maple Street, big enough backyard so the kids could actually be kids again. That's when Brenda Thornfield entered the picture. Imagine someone built in a corporate boardroom, power suits, clipboard glued to her hand, fake smile you could bounce a quarter off. Her white Lexus so clean you'd think she polishes it with tears of the innocent. She'd been HOA president for 6 years and ran this place like her own personal fiefdom. Our first violation notice arrived on cream-colored gold embossed paper mailbox was the wrong shade of black. Not kidding, ours was charcoal gray. Dear Mr. Steele, your mailbox color does not conform to community standards. You ever get a letter so pretentious you can smell the money burning? That was this letter. Sarah laughed. She can't be serious about a mailbox. Oh, but she was. The second notice came a week later, lawn improperly edged. Mind you, we'd just had it professionally landscaped edges so crisp you could cut bread with them. But apparently the clippings were in 1-inch strips, not half-inch. The audacity of those grass clippings, you know what I mean. Now, I've been in law enforcement over 20 years. I know harassment when I see it. So I did what cops do, started documenting every letter, every snarky comment, every neighborly warning. Because the thing about bullies is they always escalate. Third week in the neighborhood, I'm out walking and notice 3 other families getting the same treatment: the Johnsons' working class folks, the Garcias, both teachers, old Mr. Peterson, Vietnam vet, all getting nickel and dimed by Brenda's microscopic rules. Saturday mornings, the smell of Sarah's homemade apple cinnamon bread would fill the house, and we'd sit around the table comparing who got the dumbest violation that week. Emma joked about making a TikTok. Jake and the Garcia kids bonded over having the neighborhood dictator after them. Then one morning, I found orange spray paint on our mailbox, the same mailbox, mind you, that was too gray. That's when I installed the security cameras, real ones like we use at the station. Brenda noticed within a day. Next thing, another letter: cameras are unsightly, remove them immediately. I called her up, Mrs. Thornfield, these are for my family's protection. That's my legal right. Her voice went ice cold. We'll see about that, Mr. Steele. And right then, I knew we were officially at war. 3 days later, certified letter, she'd filed a complaint with the city claiming my cameras violated codes and threatened $500 a day fines. There was even a petition supposedly signed by 12 neighbors accusing me of intimidation tactics. Apparently, protecting your property after vandalism makes you a terrorist around here. That night, Sarah found me at the kitchen table, surrounded by HOA bylaws and city codes, looking like the world's saddest law student. Marcus, maybe we should just take them down. No way, I said, that's how bullies win. They make you so tired you just give up. So I dug in, and what I found was pure gold. First, Brenda's complaint cited Municipal Code 14.7.3, which doesn't exist. Rookie mistake. Then I pulled the state corporate records for our HOA. Turns out Willowbrook Estates hadn't filed its annual registration in 18 months. In the eyes of the law, their authority was worth less than my neighbor's yappy dog's bark. In that petition, half the signatures were from people who'd moved away years ago. The rest folks who swore they never signed anything. The forgeries were straight out of How Not to Fake a Document 101. So Thursday night I stroll into the city council meeting, jeans and a polo, just a concerned citizen with a folder full of dynamite. Brenda's strutting like she's about to deliver the Gettysburg Address. Ladies and gentlemen, she starts, we have a rogue resident, intimidating families with surveillance equipment, destroying our peaceful community. I'm in the back, organizing my evidence, waiting for my moment. She wraps up and I stand up, let my footsteps echo. Ma'am, maybe you should double-check your paperwork. I hand my file to City Attorney Williams. He reads one page and his eyebrows just about take off. Mrs. Thornfield, we need to discuss your organization's legal authority before we consider any enforcement actions. Her face drains so fast it's like someone unplugged her. Turns out her HOA hasn't existed legally since last year, and that's just for starters. But here's where it gets good. Wounded animals fight dirty. Instead of backing down, Brenda doubles down. 2 weeks later, Sarah answers the door to a sweaty guy in a wrinkled suit, flashing a badge that looks like it came from a cereal box. He starts grilling her about my criminal background. Sarah plays along, bless her heart. What kind of illegal activity? Can't discuss specifics, but law enforcement impersonation. The irony, right? Meanwhile, Brenda's out spreading rumors like fertilizer, calling an emergency HOA meeting to discuss suspicious new residents. Here's where it takes a twist. My buddy Detective Ray calls while I'm grilling burgers, tells me this PI used to work with him and got fired for falsifying reports. Ray took Brenda's money, told her I was clean as a whistle, and even kept her running in circles for a week just to waste her cash. At this point, I realize Brenda's moved from petty harassment to trying to set me up for blackmail, or worse, so I dig deeper. Turns out Brenda's been HOA president in 3 other communities, all ended with her resigning for personal reasons each time after a wave of lawsuits, complaints, and 1 federal investigation for mail fraud. Her playbook: target working-class families, push them out, and help her real estate buddies flip the properties. Now Sarah goes full detective. She's helping our elderly neighbor, Mrs. Patricia, sort out HOA finances and finds that nearly $1 million in special assessments have vanished over 5 years. Fake landscaping bills, payments to Brenda's shell company, legal fees to a law firm that doesn't exist, even a pool maintenance bill for a pool that was never built. The more we look, the bigger the fraud. That Saturday, Brenda plans her masterpiece, sending her nephew Derek and his buddy out in fake police uniforms to arrest me and a few other problem homeowners. Little did she know Derek already spilled the beans to me. He didn't want to go to prison, not for $3 grand. So with help from the FBI, the DA, and my favorite local journalist, we set the perfect trap. Saturday morning, crisp autumn air. Everyone in position, cameras rolling my whole street watching. Brenda's officers show up in a beat-up Honda with misspelled badges. They try arresting old Mr. Peterson, but he just asks for their badge numbers and pulls out his phone to call the real cops. Brenda panics, marches down the street in her business suit, clipboard waving like a flag. And then she loses it, starts shouting about official HOA authority, threatening everyone with arrest for obstruction. That's my cue. I put on my uniform, step out onto the porch, and the crowd goes silent. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Chief Marcus Steele of the Willowbrook Police Department. You could hear a pin drop. Brenda goes full meltdown, screaming, "It's a setup," demanding the real police. That's when FBI agent Rodriguez steps in, flashes. Her badge announces Brenda's under arrest for wire fraud, mail fraud, conspiracy, and impersonation of federal officers. Cops roll in, the news van pulls up, and my neighborhood erupts in applause. Brenda's loaded into a federal car, her fake officers confessing faster than you can say plea bargain. We recovered $847,000, used it to build a playground the kids designed themselves, renovate the Senior Center Fund scholarships. Mrs. Patricia teaches Tai Chi. Mr. Peterson runs military history classes, and our monthly meetings are more potluck than power trip. Sarah became treasurer, and Emma's viral coverage landed her a journalism scholarship. Jake leads the neighborhood safety patrol. The Ripple Effects FBI created a task force on HOA fraud, using our case as the playbook. And Brenda, 12 years federal time. 3 days of trial, 47 minutes of jury deliberation. Her story's a warning shot. Sometimes criminals accidentally do good by showing everyone what not to do. Look, I don't know what kind of HOA nightmare you've lived through, but you're not alone. If you've got a story, share it in the comments. Maybe your experience helps someone spot the warning signs before it's too late. And if you want to see more stories of regular folks taking down corrupt systems, hit that subscribe and ring the bell, because bullies eventually meet their match. Justice isn't just something that happens to other people. Sometimes it lives right next door.